So you clicked on the link because you're moving to the Colorado Springs area and you're thinking of either renting or buying. Well, Lori and I have put together a list of pros and cons for either of these situations, and we're going to walk you through what we found out with our research. Stay tuned to the very end. It's definitely an important fact that may factor into your decision. Hey everyone, it's Lori here with your Colorado's finest realtors here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And we're going to be putting on a ton of content this year, every Tuesdays and Thursdays, all about our Colorado Springs area. So if you are thinking of living or moving or visiting to our beautiful city, hit that subscribe button or that bell so you don't miss a single episode. Do it. We have people reaching out to us, you guys, all the time who are wanting to live, relocate, PCS to our area, and we love what we do. We love helping you make Colorado Springs your home. So reach out, give us a call, give us a text. That's 719-639-3393, morning, night, anytime, weekends. We're here to help you make Colorado Springs your home. Hey everyone, it's Lori here, and so today we are going to get right into whether you should buy or rent here in the Colorado Springs area. So the number 5 reason that we're going to talk about today is how long you're going to be here, for the length of time. So if you are coming here and you are going to be here only for 6 months, if you're only going to be here for a short amount of time, then yes, probably renting is best for you. If you're going to be here for at least 18 months, 2 years, I would say then it probably is a good investment for you. We just had someone sell after 18 months and they also walked away with $25,000 after 1 year. But if you're here shorter time length than that 18 months, then I probably would recommend that you would rent at first for your first few months here. Okay guys, so the number 4 thing that Lori and I want to bring up is an average rent price here in Colorado Springs. So I'll get to that. What I'd like to talk about also is, yes, we are in a very hot real estate market. I think real estate is crazy all over the nation. COVID kind of brought out the ability that people their employers were allowing them to work from home. Work has become a little bit more flexible. People want to live by family. So I think that not only our housing market is very active right now, but probably all over most of the United States. With that being said, so is our housing market for even rentals. So average rental price here in Colorado Springs for a 1 to 2 bedroom this last quarter was $1,265. So depending on your timeline, depending on your exact circumstance, we can help you weigh out the options. But if you're already paying that over $1,200 a month for a 1 to 2 bedroom, chances are buying a home may be in your best interest as long as what your overall plan is pushing. Why don't you comment below if you're thinking of renting, and Lori and I can send you our favorite website that we do direct people to use for rentals. We do have some names of some property managers that can also help. The only thing is their inventory is quite small. Rental market is just like the housing market. You get something on for 1 to 2 days and you have 20 applications you're competing with. And so comment below, we'll get you to that website and you can kind of watch and gauge what that looks like as well. All right, everyone. So now we are going to talk to you about the 3rd reason of renting versus buying. And there's been, you could probably go back and forth in your own head. Should I buy? Should I rent? Is it a good decision? And so we're just here to kind of weigh those pros and cons for you of renting versus buying in our city. So the number 3 is, can you qualify? And so I think that's a really big one is, can you qualify to buy a home? That's what everyone asks us If you're wondering why the balloons are here, it's because Kayleen's birthday today. So I had
awesome. It is my birthday. I'm kind of excited.
She's made it to another decade. I'll let you guess which one.
20.
And I did buy her scratch off ticket. So if she wins, she's going to buy us all houses here in Colorado Springs.
Perfect.
So anyway, so it is qualifying. And so, there's different factors. Like I think that when we talk about qualifying, you're talking about qualifying for a home. And you also have to think about qualifying to rent here in our city.
Yeah, so in our Colorado Springs What's Going On Facebook group, there was quite a few discussions about people who were looking for rentals. And there was some really valuable information on there I thought that we kind of read through. Yeah, it did. It kind of got heated. So what my takeaway from it was it may even be easier in some circumstances to qualify for buying a house versus renting. So one of the discussions was the amount of deposit you need to be able to put down. So it kind of varies on, of course, rental companies, but then also it can be your credit score, but some require a deposit of 1 month's rent. Some require a first and last month's. If you have pets, that could require more. Sometimes there's an add-on. If a home can accommodate 4 people, but you have 6 in your family, they'll tack on a little bit extra for each person beyond that 4 number. So those are some factors that we've heard discussions on. The other was...
Well, I think that you mentioned credit score. You need to have that 650 credit score is what we're hearing a lot since our rental market is. And so some, I know cities don't, factor in credit score. You probably could find a few rentals that obviously don't require that, but a lot of them are now is requiring that 650 credit score. And they're also requiring on top of that you make 3 times the amount of your monthly rent.
That was the fact that you had told me. So if you're looking at rent, average, $2,000 if you have a decent sized family, that means you have to bring in at least $6,000 a month to be able to qualify for that home.
Right. So you have to have the credit score, you have to have the down payment, saved in your bank account, and then you have to show that you're going to be producing that income as well. And so at the flip side of that, that's why you have to think about your financials and what's best for you and your family, especially if you're here for longer than the 18 months we talked about, is sometimes you can qualify for a loan and you don't have to, you're going to be putting down the same amount of money or less with some of those CHFA loans, those FHA loans, especially VA. We have a lot of VA loans in our area as well.
And those are 0% down.
Right. So you'd probably need like the $4,000 or $5,000 for closing costs. But beyond that, could be a better situation for you to buy. So I guess, there's a lot of pros and cons, and we have amazing lender here. So reach out to us and we can kind of look at your situation because everyone's situation is so different.
Yes.
And so a lot of factors come into that. So reach out to us, drop us a text, comment below, and we can put you in contact with our lender who we love here locally, and kind of look at your situation and kind of plan out pros and cons and what we think the best financial move is for you and your family. So that was number 3. And then number 2 we want to look at is we're going to look at probably just a location. So some people say they're going to move here and they'll say, well, I want to make sure it's a good location. But the same thing happens when you're going to rent. Like, I don't know if you want to sign a year, 18-month rent agreement, which is pretty common right now.
Yeah, that's what's happening because of the shortage of even rentals. Landlords really have the control with how long that they want you to sign your lease for. And with that being said, sometimes what happens, especially if you have a family, if you have put your kids into certain schools, it's hard to, pick up 2 or 3 kids and move schools, and so then you kind of feel tied to a certain area. What I would recommend is if you have the flexibility to come out here and stay, a month, maybe even 6 weeks in an Airbnb. Lori and I can, within those 6 months, you're probably going to be doing every day, working, whatever your schedule is, but we can take you around and show you areas and find that area from the very get-go. So then you're putting your family where you want to be long-term.
Right. So if you're going to be renting, I don't know if you want to rent in the area you don't love for 18 months versus, if you can move here like a short term and then, we can find you somewhere to buy. And that does kind of lead into our last point is like financial planning for you and your family. What is a good investment for you? So if you wait to get into our market, you just ran numbers on how much the market has increased just in 1 year in our city. And so you got to think about in 12 to 18 months, housing prices are going to be just that much higher, and you just spent the last year putting your money into your property manager, landlord's back pocket, instead of your own. And I guess I know there's lots of variables as far as jobs and everything, but it is a really important situation or point to consider, is just your financial planning for you and your family.
Well, and the number that was what I wanted people to, the fact that I was telling you, hang on till the end. So average home prices increased by 9.4% in this last year in Colorado Springs.
Which is crazy.
So what that means is if you have a $400,000 house, your value went up almost $37,000 in 1 year, which yes, you have your monthly payment for your mortgage and your escrow account, but it's like having a part-time job by just owning a home. That money, when you sell, goes back into your pocket. So investment wise, and real estate is definitely a market that continues to increase. You may have dips here and there, but for long-term investment, real estate is definitely one of
it's the safest and most lucrative investment I think you can have for your family. For them, almost every single situation I can think of. If you hang on to that property,
you always need a place to live too. It's not like you're never going to need a place to live,
right? So those are the 5 reasons. We talked about either renting or buying. I know there's lots of factors that factor into those decisions. So reach out, let us know how we can help, and we can weigh the pros and cons with you. Whether that's, thinking about your job situation, area, schools. We each have 3 kids ourselves, and so we know school districts are really important. And so a lot of factors that go into renting versus buying.
Yeah. And hit subscribe, hit the bell. We're putting out videos each Tuesday and Thursday. If there's something you would like to know more about, comment below, and we will pay attention to that and do a video on it. So
reach out, give us a call if you're thinking of moving here. We hop on Zoom calls all the time with people moving here. So reach out. We'd love to get to know you and your situation and why you're moving to Colorado Springs.